Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Wednesday, April 6th. We are live on the Ringside Report Network. We're talking AEW Dynamite. Tonight on the show, FTR versus the Young Bucks. Close it out. Hangman Page versus Adam Cole. We know when they will battle for the AEW Championship. and Samoan Joe debuts in AEW. Whoo-wee. Hi, John.
It's good to be here.
Yeah. I've had quite a day.
A lot of false alarms, I guess, huh?
Yeah. Sometimes you think something's going to happen. It doesn't happen. Let's address that right off the bat. We're going to talk about AEW Dynamite in a second, but we thought maybe my daughter was coming today, and then I sent out a message to my dad, and then he put out a message on the YouTube channel saying we're not on tonight, and then Johnny North, you took that message and you put it out on Twitter, but yeah, I was like, no, actually, guys, because we thought maybe this morning that the kid was coming, but she didn't come. She's not ready yet. Probably next week. We're hoping next week, but it could be any time now. So you put it out, and then people were like congratulating me and saying, oh, is she going to be born April 6th or April 7th? I was like, yeah, probably April 14th, guys. Chill out. Chill out, guys. So I don't have another kid. I have one kid so far. He's out. He's almost 5. He's amazing. He's the best guy I know. And then my daughter is coming at some point real soon. And I'm pretty excited about seeing her, I got to say. And then that'll be that. Hopefully no more children after that. If another one comes, it'll be a blessing and all that. But, let's take it easy. So, yeah, John put out a message. I'm blaming you, John, for everything that happened today. People saying, oh, Dave, congratulations on the birth of your daughter. I'm like, I didn't have a kid yet. She's not born yet. But she's coming. She's coming. So at any point, there will be no show. We're on after every Raw, after every Dynamite and SmackDown, and of course Thursday nights, and then for the MMA show, and then Saturday night. We do have a UFC pay-per-view watch-along scheduled, but, if it doesn't happen, you'll know why. Because I have a new baby. If it does happen, then there's no baby yet. Okay? So at some point, I will be gone abruptly for some time. I don't know how long yet. We haven't figured that out. But at some point. But not now. I'm here now, okay? We're still talking about wrestling. So stay with us. And then if you come here after a Dynamite or after a SmackDown, you're like, how come there's no show? Well, now you know why. Because there'll be a baby. And that's really the only reason there'd be no show, unless something terrible happens to John, which I really hope doesn't. You okay, John?
Oh, I'm fine. More than fine. I think everyone's more prepared now after all this chaos today. So,
Are you prepared? You feel all right, John? You're not too nervous? You okay?
Oh, I got no worries whatsoever. I'm not the one who's got to stay up all night pretty much for next, week? That's all on you. So good luck with that.
I don't have to stay up all night for the next week. I don't have to do any of that. I sleep, and then if somebody wakes me up saying, hey, it's time, I wake up. I was woken up real early this morning. Somebody said, yeah, it's time. And I was like, is it? And it felt like time, and then as time went on, I was like, oh, maybe not. Okay. It's not time. Cool. But either way, it was a long day today. I'm very tired. But I sat through Dynamite, and I'm here for you. I almost canceled the show tonight because I was like, I'm just so tired. I don't know if I could do it. But, get the shows in while we can. Angelo saying, take all the time I need. Thank you, Angelo. I will. And thank you, Lorne. Shout out to everybody watching tonight. If you're not a member, become a member. This is a great time to push for membership, right? I got another mouth to feed. Hit me up on Super Chat, join.ringsidereport.net. I'm going to use my unborn daughter as a ploy to get more members. All right? So Doug Hepburn, Angelo Contagonis, you guys know what's up. But everybody else, join. Join.ringsidereport.net. There's Derek John. He renewed his membership. He knows what's up. All right? I'm using her as a ploy to get new members. I think that's fair. I got another mouth to feed, people. Hit me up on Super Chat. All right, John. What do we got? Dynamite. How about that main event? Let's start with the best, and then we'll work our way out to the other stuff that happened. This was the match of the night. I'm not even going to ask you if you agree because I know that you do. How could you disagree? This was a fantastic tag team match, FTR and the Young Bucks. I thought we had some good matches tonight, but this was by far the best.
Well, there was some very good match. Like up to this point, to me, Christian Adam Cole, I thought was the best match. But then, this match happened, and it's hard to disagree with that. Not perfect though, because I don't know if you watched FTR against Briscoes. I thought that was a better match than this match. But they're both very good matches, just in different ways. I think what took away a bit from this match was that whole belt shot thing. I don't know if you noticed, the ref totally saw it. And they said the ref didn't, but he totally did. And that took it away from a bit. They didn't need that belt shot. It wasn't needed whatsoever, but they used it, and it hurt the match a bit by that happening.
Did it? I thought it was a decent false finish.
Not when the ref sees it, though. It ruins it.
Did he see it?
Oh, he totally saw it.
I mean, he had his back turned. He was doing
but he turned away, and then he went 2, right? Yeah, he totally saw it.
I mean, probably. But you could suspend disbelief, can't you? Like, he's not supposed to see it, and his head was kind of turned. I don't know. To kind of get hung up on that detail. I mean, what are we talking about here, John? You allow people to get Irish whipped and then run back like they can't stop themselves from the momentum. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? It's a little thing. It's a minor.
There's rules you set up. And when you break your rules and just let whatever happens, then it means it doesn't matter for anything.
Yeah.
It's a little thing, but, I would have appreciated if it didn't happen. I'm just saying, it would have helped the match.
No, I understand. But it's still a fantastic match. And I haven't seen that Briscoes match yet. I know it was good, but I just haven't got around to it. I watched a lot of wrestling in the past several days. I watched Raw after Mania. I watched all the things. I haven't had time. It's been busy.
I watched Raw. Raw was horrible, actually. I'm surprised you got through Raw.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it live on Monday, did the post-show. I don't know. It wasn't great. You're not a fan of Ezekiel?
I thought for the Raw after Mania, it was probably one of the worst Raw after Manias. Probably the worst Raw after Mania I've ever seen.
Wow. That's a big statement. The worst. It wasn't great. Cody's promo was interesting. Roman's promo was all right.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong about that. You see Edge's promo? Oof. Oh, boy. I don't want to talk about that.
Days.
I don't want to talk about that. Because I don't know if you saw the show I did Monday night, but I was saying how I hate having to say bad things about Edge because I love Edge so much, but every time I see him, I'm like, ugh, not this guy. It hurts me inside to say bad things about Edge, Like, I hate saying bad things about Rey Mysterio, but when he trots his son out there every week, what am I supposed to think? Anyways, I got nothing bad to say about FTR and the Bucks. I think they're fantastic. I thought they had the match of the night. BTE trigger, then the Shatter Machine on Matt Jackson, 1, 2, 3, middle of the ring. They don't call it the Shatter Machine anymore, right? They got another name for it.
The Big Rig, I think.
Big Rig. I don't like that. What are they, Johnny Hendricks? Remember that guy? Big Rig Johnny Hendricks?
Well, I thought this was still a great back and forth action. If you've seen their matches before in the past, the fact that they were able to go move for move with each other and then counteract their moves, just great back and forth sequencing, especially the beginning too, when they did the whole cheat and the other guy cheats the same way and then hits the partner. It started well and it ended well. It's just the little extra shenanigans wasn't needed so much, but it's still definitely the best match we saw tonight, without question.
A very good match between two of the best tag teams in the world. It's a great tag team division they have right now. And FTR is running very strong. They're not the AEW tag team champions, but they seem to be the top tag team in AEW. It's weird, right?
They have more belts than the
They're the
AEW
Ring of
Tag
Honor
Champs. They have two.
champions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the AAA tag champs. They're the Ring of Honor champs now. They're main eventing the show. They seem to be the focus point of the tag team division. They just beat the Young Bucks. But the Jurassic Boys are still the tag team champions.
For now.
Yeah. The Jurassic Boys are supposed to wrestle Red Dragon next week on Dynamite. Is it Dynamite or Rampage? I think it's
Next
Dynamite.
week gets a little confusing because, like, not only is there Dynamite, not only is there Rampage, but there's also Battle of the Belts. So there's going to be like 3 shows next week for AEW.
3 shows? That's ridiculous. Why?
Because they got Battle of the Belts. Remember they supposed to do like 4 like TNT specials every couple months?
It's a TNT thing.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. They got a show called Battle of the Belts next Saturday, right?
Right.
They've announced Thunder Rosa defending her women's title against Nyla Rose for the Battle of the Belts. Belts,
probably
right?
Main event.
Right. So you would think that there'd be multiple belts defended on the show, right?
You would think.
Why would you do your world champion defending his belt on the night before a show you call Battle of the Belts? Why is Hangman and Adam Cole Texas Death Match on Rampage and not on Battle of the Belts? I feel like Battle of the Belts is like a special. You might want to put a world title match on that, but I guess these TNT specials don't mean anything. Because the last one I remember being totally meaningless, and I don't even think I watched it. And I feel like this one's going to be the same deal.
Well, here's the big problem, and the reason why they kind of spread it out throughout the week, which I find makes sense when you look at it, it's the fact that this special is only an hour long. So, like, most of these matches usually go 25, 30 minutes. So you can only really fit like 1 or 2 matches on a show. So pretty much, I feel like this Battle of the Belts thing is really spread out throughout the week. Like, we're getting the tag titles Wednesday, we're getting the world title Friday. You'll get, the women's title. You might probably get the TBS title as well on that same show.
Yeah. How about the world title match here? So Adam Cole wrestles a tremendous match with Christian to open up the
Amazing.
show. So
Great.
good. I love Christian so much. And this is really close to being as good as the main event tag team match, which says a lot about how good this match was.
Agreed, yeah.
The bump that Christian took off the super kick was so nice. He just took the move, like, he took it like no one else, just kind of on the side and, like, kind of flew. Just the little things he does and the way that he works and he operates, and especially here when you see him in a singles match and he's not stuck with the Jurassic Boys in some sort of weird 6-man where everybody's flipping and flying around the ring. It's just a basic one-on-one wrestling match. It reminds you how good Christian is. He's incredible. It's a little disappointing that he's not used more in this type of way in AEW as like a legit top-level single star who the world title challenger can only beat by cheating. Cole thumbs Christian in the eye when the ref's not looking, hits his knee to the back of the head, the boom knee for the win. I liked the booking of Christian in this match. Looked strong. Cole could only beat him by cheating. And the match was just fantastic. Christian's so good. I'm a big fan. So, I liked it. I thought the match was great. I just don't know where Christian goes after this. It feels like since he's come into AEW, he's been in this weird no man's land. He had his little thing with Kenny right off the bat. But since then, he's teamed up with the Jurassic Boys, and it's not Like, he's been kind of their manager and kind of their backup. I'd like to see him away from the Jurassic Boys and more like this, doing this.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think what actually hurt him was that whole Kenny thing. Like when he beat Kenny for the Impact Championship, that actually hurt him more because his focus went more on going to Impact and wrestling there.
Mm.
So we didn't actually see him for quite a while until he was done being Impact Champion. And by the time he was done, they put more of the focus on Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. So that was kind of the problem. He kind of cooled down by then, which
Yeah.
was kind of really unfortunate. Because tonight, to me, was a great reminder of like, not only is he a great wrestler, he's probably one of the best wrestlers of all time. Like that match was just so good. The way he built everything up, made everything like seem important. Like very, very few people can do it that well, and Christian is one of them.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think he's one of the greatest ever. I was talking about Christian on Monday night, saying how good he is. I was saying how Bret Hart is the greatest wrestler ever, and the closest thing that I've seen since Bret was Christian. As far as the style,
Well, Christian Jericho, it's tough. I mean,
Jericho doesn't really work that same style. Bret, like, Christian works Bret style, like low impact, no big bumps really, just telling an amazing story, and every time you think he's going to go right, he goes left. And it just keeps you entertained, you know? Turns a corner when you think he's going to go straight. You never know what he's going to do. But it's not anything like Jeff Hardy, you never know what he's going to do. Oh, my God, he's flying off a ladder. It's like, oh, he did that. I can't, you know? The little things that he does make him a tremendous wrestler. He's one of the greatest ever. And again, I'm going to take a shot at Edge. He's better than Edge. In the ring. In the ring.
It's tough. That one's tough. Like,
in the ring. Between the ropes.
Sure.
Maybe not. I know what you mean, promo and everything else, but in the ring.
Not that Christian's bad at promo.
No. But Edge is like, you know, probably a bit better. But in the ring, between the ropes, I think Christian, like you said, is one of the greatest to ever get in there.
Right. Not that Edge is bad too, but I mean,
No.
like, wow.
But people rate Edge as like the top, you know, it's like Edge and Christian, you know, but I think it's Christian
they made
and
him
Edge.
more successful, right? He won the WWE Championship more times, right? So that's why. People just rate it by the championship wins, but...
Yeah, because Vince decided to push Edge and didn't like the way Christian looked. I mean, that's really all it was, right? But, yeah, Christian is a great wrestler. A great wrestler. And I think he might be walking away from the Jungle Boys. Did he walk away from them? They were all backstage at one point.
Mad.
Yeah, he seemed mad, but, like, mad and walking away from those guys. Like, they were all together, and then Christian's, like, upset, and then he walked away, and then the Jurassic Boys challenged Red Dragon to a match next week. The Jurassic Boys want to defend their belts against Red Dragon. So that'll happen on Dynamite next week. I hope Christian moves away from these guys. They're dragging him down.
Like, I think it's going to happen. Like, I think someone just posted, like, Christian is a really good, like, jerk. So, yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea to do that. Him cutting heel promos. It's probably some Christian's best work is cutting heel promos, actually.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if the time is ready right now. Like, I don't know if they're actually going to lose the tag team titles. This is the actually good part about Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus is that you look at them as such a weak tag team, they could lose to anybody. But I feel like Red Dragon, it's too soon that they're going to win the tag titles.
Yeah, I don't see them winning the tag titles. But, like you said, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus aren't looked at as a serious tag team, and I have a hard time figuring out how they beat Red Dragon and make it look legit.
Yeah, it's tough. I don't know.
How do you beat them clean and have it make sense? Has Red Dragon been beat?
I mean, except they won that three-way tag, but really it was because the Bucks and Red Dragon screwed themselves in that match. That's really their only true loss so far.
I think Red Dragon might win.
It's impossible, yeah. Well, as we said, like the tag champs aren't exactly strong, so they could always lose when they're against a top team. When you think about it,
Yeah. I think Red Dragon has a much better shot than Adam Cole does. Adam Cole, after he beats Christian, Red Dragon comes out to attack, I guess, but then Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus came out real quick and fought them off, and then Hangman showed up, and Cole is talking trash to Hangman, saying how he's afraid of him and all this stuff, and then Hangman comes in with lots of fire. More fire than we've seen from Hangman lately. Shoves Cole in the face. I like that face shove. He mushed him. You like that mush? Good mush.
Yeah, it was good.
It's called a mush. I don't know if you knew that.
I've heard it called that. To me, it's more like a face wash, but whatever. Like,
No, face wash is with the forearm. When you're doing with your palm, you're mushing somebody. Technical term, John. All right? I know these terms. You know what a goozle is? I know what a mush is, okay? One day we should go through all these terms. One day we should go through all these terms and explain them to people. What's a goozle? What's a mush? What's a face wash? What's a crossface? You know? People don't know these things. Crossface is not what, it's not like just holding somebody. It's like just anytime you go across somebody's face with your forearm. Crossface. All right? Sometimes you crossface to post up on somebody. Anyways, we can explain this in detail another time.
To it.
Yeah. But I'm saying sometimes, like, you know, in like UFC, when a guy's on top of another guy in a full mount, and he wants to posture up to throw punches, you know, to rain blows upon him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, when you push off and you like kind of grind your forearm into the guy's face to get that posture, it's a crossface as well. But a lot of people in pro wrestling think of the crossface as like, you know, crippler crossface type of thing. But there's a variety of crossfaces, John, as we all know. What are we talking about? Hangman, the mush from Hangman. He wants a Rampage in Texas death match for the AEW title. And then he tells Cole, you got a week to get your affairs in order. Because he's going to kill him. Basically saying you've got a week to, tell Britt that she gets all your stuff, all your video games and whatever, and then you will die at my hands. My God. Hangman. I like the intensity. I didn't really believe him when he's like, get your affairs in order. I was like, are you a cowboy? He kind of put on an accent, too. I was like, what was that? Are you quoting a line from a movie? It was a little weird, but I liked it. I liked how intense he was. It was a different side of Hangman Page tonight.
Well, you're expecting a very physical, violent match because the last Texas Death match that he had was very violent. So I'd expect no less for this one.
Should be good, right? He's good at those.
I hope so. I imagine it's all of Rampage next week, I guess.
Like one match for the whole show, you think?
Well, if there's not like another one that's maybe 10 minutes and that's just the rest of the show, I could easily see this being a very long match. Hangman's done close to an hour matches before.
I like that they're going to the Texas Death Match here for two reasons. One, because they have a grudge. They've had a singles match. They have beef. And a Texas Death Match is a gimmick that'll settle it, right? Like a lot of times they'll have a gimmick match without having like a singles match regular to set it up, right? Like they'll just do the gimmick match right away in a feud. Here I like that there's a feud and we're building up to the gimmick match. And two, I like that you're establishing that this is Hangman's match. Undertaker has a casket match. Khali has the Punjabi prison. John Moxley has a no rules, whatever. And Hangman has Texas Deathmatch. He had one with Lance Archer. And a lot of people were saying, why is the first match in this feud a Texas Deathmatch with Lance Archer? And you know what? it didn't really make sense because a Texas death match, a hardcore match, whatever you want to call it, should be a match that's built up to because of some bad blood or a couple matches that didn't get settled the right way, right? It shouldn't be the first match in the feud. But now that we've established that Hangman Page, this is his style of match, this is what he challenges you to, and when he challenges you to one of these, you're in big trouble. Like when Undertaker says, casket match, you're like, oh no, I'm in big trouble. When Hangman Page says, Texas death match, you know it's on. So I like it because it establishes that this is just the match that he likes to do, and it kind of retroactively explains why he did that single match against Lance Archer as a Texas death style. You know what I'm saying? Fixes the mistakes.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. The only problem I really have with this whole situation is the fact that, do you really need to go back to Texas like right away? Like, didn't you just like drain that whole like state so much from like wrestling for the last like couple of weeks? Even AEW had shows. Now you had WrestleMania, and then the week right after, oh, we'll be right back to Texas. Like, good luck getting a sellout for that.
It's a big state.
Yeah, but like, I think people are just tired of wrestling. Like, I'd understand if it'd be hard to sell that.
Maybe. I'll tell you what, though. Hangman Page, Adam Cole, AEW Championship, Texas Death Match. I'm buying a ticket. I'm into that.
Well, that's another thing, too. That's only one night. Like, I'm going to guess they're probably going to tape the Battle of the Belts 2 the same night, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to do a live thing, but probably not.
Mm-mm.
So then, yeah, it could be very well worth it.
Yeah. I think it'll be a good show. That Friday night in Texas. Texas wrestling fans, they will buy tickets if you give them a reason to. Tonight they were in Boston. Getting close, brother.
Great crowd.
Getting close. Boston's not too far away from where we are. When is AEW coming to Canada? Come to
they're going
Canada.
To Philly soon, aren't they?
Yeah, Philly's not Canada, John. Philly on the 27th. I don't know if you know that, but Philly's further away from us than Boston is. I've been to both cities. I've seen wrestling in both cities. And, yeah, Boston's closer, for the record. Come to Canada.
Boston's. It'd be nice, and I think it just goes to show, like, it's getting closer. So I think one day, I think maybe it's a better idea, warmer times possibly, because it's not too bad here, but it still might be cold for people not used to colder weather. So maybe more like July, possibly.
AEW has yet to do a show outside of the United States. Not a single one.
Well, again, they were planning to, but
they didn't, though. Let's go.
Pandemic, that's
okay, but WWE's doing Canadian and international tours. They're going to Europe. They're going to Saudi Arabia. They're going to Canada. They're all over the place. People are touring. I'm going to see Action Bronson next month. I mean, come on. If Action Bronson could tour, why can't AEW? I'm going to see Action Bronson perform Hook's theme song, but I don't see Hook. That's okay. I'd rather see Bronson than Hook, to be honest. But nevertheless, I want to see CM Punk and Bryan Danielson. So come to Canada, Tony Khan. Preferably Montreal. I mean, I don't really care if you go to Toronto or, Winnipeg or Vancouver, because, I probably won't go to those shows. But Montreal specifically, because, it's close to me. It's where I live. No offense to any of our friends outside of Montreal. I'm just saying, if I'm going to be specific, I would say preferably in my hometown. And send me some free tickets, and Johnny too. And sign Johnny to a contract, and sign me to like a contract where I don't have to do work, but you just give me money. As long as we're asking for stuff, John. I mean, what the hell?
Well, I wouldn't mind if they did Ottawa. Ottawa's not that far.
I would go to Ottawa for them.
Yeah.
But why the hell would you go to Ottawa and not Montreal? Like, what? Why would you do that?
Stranger
I've seen
things have
wrestling
happened.
I've seen wrestling in Ottawa too, and let me tell you, the crowds in Montreal are a lot better. Ottawa was the deadest wrestling city I've ever been to. I've never been. I mean, no disrespect to anybody from Ottawa, but I mean, go to a show outside of your city and tell me that I'm wrong. Ottawa was the deadest city for any wrestling show I've ever been to. Just no reaction to anything. It was sad. I saw like a SmackDown in Ottawa. Dead crowd. Dead. Montreal, hot. Toronto, hot. Philly, hot. Boston, hot. You know, good crowds. Northeast. Ottawa, dead. I was like, what happened? Are you guys here? It's Edge over there. Look, Edge. No one cares. Everybody's like, eh. Crazy. All right, what else happened on this show? Max Caster wrestled Samoan Joe. Yeah. Tony gave this guy a chance. When we beat him in the ratings, he was their champ. Max Caster kills it every time. My God, he's good. That was a great promo he cut on Joe.
For me, it was the injury thing. Like, this guy always gets injured or something. Like,
He's injury prone.
I was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
So
like,
good.
Cutting deep.
So good. He just went hard at Samoa Joe. He goes hard at everybody. Yet he loses every week. You know?
Oh, he got killed in this one.
Oh, yeah, he got squashed. Hit with the Muscle Buster, 1, 2, 3, middle of the ring. Samoa Joe qualifies for the Owen Hart Cup, and we still don't really know what that means. No idea. There's a women's tournament. There's a men's tournament. The winner wins the tournament. Yeah, I agree. Ryan Katz says Samoa Joe's facial expression was great. The way he sold the rap from Max Caster, just going like, yeah, that's fair. It's really good. I loved it. That was great. Just that part. That part was better than the match. His promos are a highlight of the show for me. I don't know about you, John, but every time Max Caster comes out, like, I get excited. I'm like, oh, everybody be quiet. Let's listen to what he's got to say. You know, like, I want to really pay attention to what he's saying. Because it's always good. He always delivers. It's pretty amazing. Not many people in pro wrestling deliver every week on anything. And Max Caster does. Talent.
No, he's very entertaining. No doubt about it. You know, and I think having these matches against, like, Punk, against Joe, it's only going to make him a better wrestler. So this is just a good step in the right direction for him. It's just, again, got to stay consistent. I don't know if they can keep that up. That's the thing. We got to see him again for the next, like, couple weeks.
Yeah, I like them as a tag team. You know, I like the Acclaimed. I think that they're going to do big things down the road in AEW. Maybe not right now, but I think that they have a very bright future. I think they're both good. Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt show up on the screen, and this is an interesting new pairing here. It's like evil Jay Lethal. He's a bad guy now. He did some sort of turn in Ring of Honor on the weekend. Sanjay is his manager now, I guess. I like it.
What happened, yeah.
I like it. And, Jay Lethal and Sanjay say, they're not going to come down there and interrupt Joe and attack him because they have more respect for him than that. And Jay says that he was Joe's student and he was trying to call him for months, but he never answered his phone, but he only answers his phone for billionaires, and he didn't know Joe was going to be there, and, how come he didn't give him a heads up, and, he wishes he could give him a present to show him how much he appreciates him, and Sanjay says, why don't we do that? Why don't we give him a present next week? So next week, Jay Lethal will give Samoa Joe some kind of gift, whatever that means. But I like this because all of a sudden Jay Lethal has a personality and a direction and a purpose in AEW. How about it? He's a talented guy. He's been around the business forever. Good wrestler. He can cut a promo. but he's come into AEW as this kind of bland babyface that loses to guys. And now he's got a bit of an edge. He's got a manager. He's turning heel. He's his first feud for Samoa Joe in AEW. That's good. Good for Jay Lethal. I think he'll probably lose to Samoa Joe off of this, but they might get a few weeks out of it.
Well, this is kind of the problem in a sense. It's like, okay, you turn Jay Lethal heel. He's a more interesting character. Now you put him up against Samoa Joe, who just showed up, who's pretty much just going to steamroll the first couple of people he faces. So it's not really going to help Jay Lethal that much if he just gets destroyed by Joe, which more than likely is going to happen for the most part. So I don't know if this really helps Jay Lethal too much, like right now anyways. Like, he needs easier matchups or something.
Yeah, it's tough to build up a new act and another new act against each other. Right? You can't really do it.
You can, but you got to be careful with it.
It's hard to make them both worth something after, though, you know? It's hard.
I mean, if you think about it, WWE did it with Austin and The Rock. They're both kind of being built up at the same time. But they had to be careful with that.
Well, I don't know about that. I feel like Austin was already further up than The Rock. Like, The Rock had to play catch up a bit.
Oh, yeah. No question about it.
It wasn't like same time.
Going uphill, though.
Yeah, I mean, they both got bigger, but I feel like at 14, when Austin beat Michaels for the WWF title, The Rock was wrestling Ken Shamrock for the Intercontinental. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, Austin was main event before Rock got there. So they weren't built exactly at the same time.
How did The Rock get the Intercontinental title?
From Austin, right?
There you go.
Yeah, that feud was really good, too. People forget about that. That was the first time they feuded. It was over the Intercontinental title. Rock looks at the pager, 316. Remember that? Austin threw the belt in the water, all that. That was great. That was great. I remember seeing that and thinking, holy shit, these guys are good. You know what I mean? Like, you were watching this, you're like, wow, this is the Intercontinental title? These guys are pretty good. It was the most entertaining shit maybe I had ever seen in wrestling at that point. I was like, whoa, they got something here. You could tell, right? When they were feuding over the Intercontinental title, The Rock and Stone Cold, it was like, oh, okay. This is different, you know? This is different.
You know, they made the IC title more important. And this is it. Like, they got to make this kind of more important, but it's a different kind of setup. That was two new guys coming in, build them up. But this is two guys that are pretty much established, and you got to build them up. Yeah, it's tough, this situation.
Yeah. I mean, Jay Lethal's bald and Samoa Joe is Samoan, but that's pretty much where the comparisons die with The Rock and Stone Cold. These guys ain't The Rock and Stone Cold. No disrespect to these guys. I think they're good, but, you know, let's be real. Jay Lethal ain't main eventing WrestleMania when he's 57 years old. Nobody's looking for that. You know what I'm saying? It'd be crazy.
Well, they just got to make it quality television. I mean, obviously, Lethal's more likely not going to win this feud, but just make it good. So then when he does come around again, they're going to realize that, hey, this can be something. Just give him someone he can actually beat next time around.
I liked Sanjay Dutt. Like the addition of Sanjay Dutt. Excellent. He added an element to Jay Lethal right away. It was good. Doug Hepburn dropping
very good.
Yeah. Doug Hepburn dropping a super chat. He says, Acclaimed have the coolest fingers game since Too Sweet.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you see what the Acclaimed do? They kind of like...
The scissoring.
Yeah, they scissor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Too Sweet's better, but I guess some people like the scissoring.
I mean, it's got a, extra little bit of sizzle to it. scissoring. You understand?
Yeah, I still think Too Sweet's better, but everyone has their own preferences, I guess.
I like this one. I think this one is the best. Well,
Like it's all right.
People are gonna think I'm in the Illuminati, John.
I feel DDP's over enough. People would understand it.
That's Jay-Z, brother. And by the way, guys, I am in the Illuminati, and it's great. And John's in the Illuminati, and AJ's in the Illuminati, and Fred is in the Illuminati. We're all in the Illuminati, and we're very illuminated, and it's great over here, guys. The Illuminati is real, and we're in it, and it's fantastic. All right, John? That's all true, right? I'm not lying. I would never lie. I always tell the truth, even when I lie. William Regal, Bryan Danielson, and Jon Moxley are backstage doing a promo. Regal talking about Bryan wrestling Trent Beretta at some point, I guess Rampage, and Moxley wrestling Wheeler Yuta and how impressed they are with Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Utah. My brother thought his name was Wheeler Utah, like the state of Utah, and I think that's better. Wheeler Utah.
That is better, to be honest. Yeah.
And then, so Regal does his thing, and then Jon Moxley gets all like, right? And he's like, the forecast. What?
Like the whole bend, like his head like this.
What was that?
I don't know what that was exactly.
The forecast for Rampage on Friday is bones cracking like thunder and raining blood. And I couldn't look at Moxley because he's so cringy. I was just looking at Bryan, who just like laughing. He's just laughing at Moxley. He's just like, what the fuck? What are you saying, dude? Like, he's just laughing. Bryan doesn't say any ridiculous shit like that. Did you see Bryan? No, he's just laughing at Moxley's stupid promo. What the hell was that? I love that Bryan laughs because why wouldn't you laugh? It's ridiculous. Like, what the hell? Anyways, I guess Moxley will wrestle Wheeler Yuta on Rampage. Can't wait.
I thought you'd be disappointed. They, demoted Bryan down to Rampage now.
Well, I was a little disappointed that we didn't see Bryan or Punk really tonight on the show. It's always a disappointment when I watch AEW and I don't see CM Punk and I barely see Bryan Danielson. The show was good tonight, but without the top guys on the show, it feels like we're missing something.
Well, with Punk, you got to wait for this whole Hangman Adam Cole thing to end, and then he's gonna probably come right out after whoever wins that match. More than like Hangman.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, that's where he is. He's waiting in the wings. Let's get back to Wheeler Yuta though, because I thought he had an interesting little segment backstage with Chuck, Trent, and Orange. Chuck is like, hey, Wheeler, we love you and we helped train you. I bought you those tights you were wearing, and I understand you want to be the best wrestler that you can be, but I believe that you could be that wrestler with us. We could help you and we could keep training you. And, he's like, hey, Wheeler, we've been with you this whole time. I understand you want to go with the cool guys and Danielson and Moxley and Regal, but, we've done a lot for you here, man, and I want you to stick with us. And Trent is like, well, I don't love you, Wheeler, and you better watch what I do to Bryan Danielson on Friday night, and I'll show you. And then he kind of gets in his face, and Wheeler's like, don't touch me. And Trent's like, and he walks away. And then Wheeler's like, and then Chuck goes over to like kind of tap Wheeler on the back, and Wheeler's like, don't touch me either, and he walked away. I like the realistic reactions from the guys in this group. Like, Chuck obviously has some sort of friendship with Wheeler, and he's disappointed that his guy is leaving him for the better, more popular, cooler guys who don't even fully want them on their team. Bryan and Moxley are not convinced of Wheeler Yuta. I thought it was a decent little segment. It all made sense. I liked it.
Well, I just found it's kind of pushing the whole. They're going to do Trent against Wheeler, I think, one day, kind of thing, and just to show that it's really that's the whole issue is just them, because in the sense, like I don't know how you saw it, but Wheeler was kind of like the replacement for Trent when he was out.
Yep.
And I don't know if there's some sort of like resentment for that, but it feels like that's what's kind of really the whole thing about this.
But what about the fact that Wheeler wants to leave the group that he's in and kind of still stays in, despite the fact that he's openly trying to leave?
Yeah, that's just them, I think, trying to drag something out of like absolutely nothing. Like it's the fact that, well, they were teaming for so long, and let's not ignore that fact. And we'll have Chuck like say that, like, oh, I still think you're my friend because we went through so much together. And they also made merch together, so of course, like, let's try to run that as long as we possibly can, so we can still sell that merch. Yeah, it's just a business move.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it provided for some solid TV because, there's like a friendship there, and you're trying to figure out, is Wheeler going to join this cooler group or isn't he? And I think the fans at home see, like, okay, well, Bryan and Moxley are, like, up here, and these other guys are kind of lower here, the best friends, and Wheeler, of course, would want to leave, and I thought it was good. Silent by Deadly dropping a super chat. Thank you, Silent. Hiya. Hiya right back to you, Silent. So, yeah, I liked it. I also liked, okay, I've said a lot of bad things about Eddie Kingston's attire. I think sometimes he dresses kind of funny, but I really liked his jersey tonight. Did you notice Eddie Kingston's jersey, John?
It was green. I noticed that.
Yes. It was a jersey for the Charros baseball team. I guess you don't know of the Charros baseball team. So the number on his jersey was 55. Powers. That was a Kenny Powers Mexican Baseball League jersey, which I very much appreciated. Did you watch Kenny Powers? Do you watch Eastbound and Down, John?
No.
Oh. Well, that's why you didn't get it, I guess. All right. Well, it was a great show, John. I highly recommend it. If anybody hasn't seen Eastbound and Down at this point, I recommend it. It's very good. Very good. Kenny Powers? You're fucking out? I mean, come on. At one point, Kenny plays in a Mexican baseball league, and Eddie Kingston was wearing the jersey that Kenny would wear in the show, the Charros jersey, number 55, Powers. When I saw Powers 55 on the back of the jersey, I was like, is that a Kenny Powers jersey? Because I know that, he's number 55. Kenny. Oh, my God, that was a good show. I'm surprised you didn't see that, John. Because you like Trailer Park Boys and South Park and stuff. Eastbound and Down would be right up your alley. You would like it. It's the type of show you would enjoy.
Well, it was on what, like Showtime or something? Or
HBO.
Okay. Well, that's at HBO. Like, you don't always catch everything.
I guess. I don't know. There are ways. I got...
Yeah, it was trickier back in the day.
Eastbound and Down. Yeah, Danny McBride. Eastbound and Down, Vice Principals, and even Righteous Gemstones is pretty damn good. I think Vice Principals is probably the best show that Danny McBride did, though, on HBO. That show was amazing. If you haven't seen Vice Principals, go watch that, too. I'm a big fan of Danny McBride. Harold Schneider dropping a super chat. Thank you, Harold. I like that emoji. I don't know what it is, but I like it a lot. So Eddie Kingston wearing the Kenny Powers jersey, and we are shown Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz brawling with Chris Jericho and his goons backstage. And that was from earlier in the night, I guess. And Eddie Kingston throws a TV at Jericho, and the TV cracks. And then Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz cut an in-ring promo, and they challenge the Jericho boys to a match next week, which will happen. It will be Kingston, Santana, Ortiz versus Jericho, Hager, and Daniel Garcia on Dynamite next week. 2.0 on the sidelines.
Well, when you think about it, they're probably trying to hold off on that one, I guess, because it's probably going to be Santana Ortiz against 2.0, I guess, one day. But didn't they change the 2.0 name too as well? Like they're not called that now anymore?
They're not?
Well, because they changed all their names, right?
Oh, yeah. I can't keep up. I don't know.
Because it's one's Cool Hand something like, and
Cool Hand Luke.
I think
that
it's
was
still
Undertaker.
Magic something.
He's Cool Hand Luke.
Cool Hand Ange, I think, possibly.
What?
Yeah,
Whatever.
I'm not even joking about this.
It doesn't matter what their names are. It really doesn't. The match will be next week, and they're not even involved. So, hey. What did you think of that Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz promo? I feel like they took forever to get to the point. They just kind of were mad and
it wasn't as long as last week. Last week like took forever. Like you had to do the brawl and then the comeback in the brawl and then they had to get beat down again. Like that felt like it was just way too long. At least this, like, they beat them down, beforehand and then they come out. They do a promo. It wasn't amazing, but at least they got finally some over.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought the promo kind of dragged a bit. I wasn't really into it. MJF on commentary for a match between Captain Shawn Dean and the chairman Shawn Spears. Wardlow breaks into the building. Wardlow's still banned from AEW. He breaks into the building, beats up security guards, and Shawn Spears gets distracted by Wardlow, which allows Shawn Dean to roll up Spears and get the win. Shawn Dean is the guy that beat MJF a few months ago when CM Punk attacked Shawn Dean and caused a disqualification, right?
Right.
So Shawn Dean now has wins over MJF and Shawn Spears, which has upset MJF so much that he has challenged Shawn Dean to a rematch for Dynamite next week. A match that will no doubt feature some interference from Wardlow. Mr. Lowe.
Yeah, I highly expect something like that to go down. It seems kind of predictable, but
yeah,
the crowd loved this though. So
did they?
I guess whatever they're doing, it's working.
Crowd loved everything tonight.
But they really love this for whatever. They were asking for it before it even came out. Like, I was very surprised by that. Like obviously it kind of know was going to happen, but they were chanting for him. Like it was really intense.
Are you into this?
Hey, it's okay. It's not bad. I'm not like wow over it, but it's fine. It's not the best thing that we see, but it's not the worst thing.
I like MJF way more.
Well, you get him. You see him. He talks a lot.
More than Wardlow. And I think a lot of fans are feeling that way. I mean, maybe not tonight. I don't know. But I feel like MJF is more beloved by the wrestling community than Wardlow is.
Yeah, but, they're building up a new star here, so they're trying to get him over. Like I get it. It makes sense. MJF's already over if you think about it.
Let's see what Angelo thinks. Angelo?
What's going on?
What's up? You like Wardlow?
All right.
Exactly.
I'm not crazy about it, but I enjoyed the segment, but what would I want to come out?
Yeah, what do you like? What's the ceiling for Wardlow right now? Like, I think he's all right. I feel the way Angelo feels. Hey, he's all right. But I like MJF way more, and I can think of 10 guys in AEW that I like way more than Wardlow. Right?
I agree.
So I'm not that into it. And I think it might be hard to make MJF the absolute heel in a feud with Wardlow. I think Wardlow probably gets cheered, but it might depend on the crowd. I know they're going back to Long Island at some point in May. Or May, I think, yeah, sometime in May. You know, MJF's going to be the babyface there.
Of course.
So
Last
I'm not
time they
sure.
were there, last time he was there, he was the babyface.
Yeah, of course. He's a hero there. Angelo, are you listening to something in the background, man? What is that?
Oh, sorry.
What is that? What are you listening to other than us? Is that us?
No. I'm listening to you. No, I just had the radio turned on by accident.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable. So what's up, man? What you got? Any thoughts on Dynamite tonight?
I liked the Hardys and Butcher and the Blade.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about that. That match was that was a little weird.
But the crowd was really into it. I was into it also.
Yeah, it was fun. But I thought Jeff Hardy got eliminated at one point. He kind of fell on a table, and it kind of broke. I thought he was out of the match.
Kinda.
Yeah, but isn't that enough?
Well,
but isn't it supposed to?
I think it would.
Can I just ask something?
Go ahead.
Isn't it supposed to be the whole team get eliminated, but not one member at a time? I don't know how these type of matches work.
I couldn't tell what the hell the rules were for this thing. I thought Jeff Hardy got eliminated because I thought Jeff Hardy went through a table at one point because
he did, but they said no DQ.
Right, so he could still wrestle in the match, but what?
I couldn't understand it either.
I couldn't follow the rules. I had no idea what the rules were. John, you usually know what's going on here.
Well, the main thing is I think commentary screwed up because I don't think they understood what the rules were supposed to be. But I think the idea for this match, you laugh, but it's true. The Rumble 2000.
If commentary can't, you know what I mean? If commentary can't figure it out, how the hell are we supposed to? Put a graphic up on the screen. It's not hard.
The idea was it was supposed to be like the Hardys against the Dudleys, Rumble 2000. That was a tables match. Okay. Where it's like both members have to go through the table. However, just because you go through a table doesn't mean you're out of the match. However, they explain this terribly on commentary.
Oh, yeah.
And it didn't make any sense if you were to try and listen to it. However, I also feel Jeff, that table didn't really break. He didn't go through the actual table. The legs broke. That was it. So to me, Jeff was never actually truly eliminated.
It splintered.
But, yeah. Well,
part of it broke. There was a chunk that broke off, John. I don't know. I think Jeff got eliminated there. It was weird because Jeff kind of I thought Jeff was hurt for a second because Jeff was on the top rope.
Jeff was always hurt.
Right? Jeff was on the top rope at one point, and then Blade kind of knocked him off the top rope, and Jeff fell horribly. The way he fell, I was like, oh, that didn't look like it was intentional. And Blade just kind of stood on the apron looking at Jeff like, oh, shit. He didn't do anything. He just kind of stood there and then Matt was like, and then Matt was like, oh, I see you, Blade, looking like a deer in the fucking headlights. I'm going to come over and fight you, Blade, to kind of bring you back into the match. And I'm going to check on my brother at the same time because Matt Hardy's a professional. But after Jeff fell down, he went on to the table, through the table, whatever you want to call it, pretty soon after. And then Matt Hardy was just wrestling Butcher and the Blade for most of the match. And then Jeff Hardy kind of came back at the end, helped Matt Hardy avoid getting put through a table, and then they set up Blade on a table, and Jeff Hardy went to the top of a ladder and did the swanton and put Blade through the table. It was amazing, but if you've been eliminated from the match already, why are you allowed to still cause eliminations in the match? This was a goddamn mess as far as what the rules were, what the hell was going on. There's a couple cool things, but as far as I'm concerned, the Hardys lost this match. Jeff got put through a table, and then Matt Hardy put himself through a table with an elbow drop. So Hardys
That's not
lose.
elimination.
Yeah,
No,
I don't care.
They said it had to be an offensive move.
Yeah, but who cares?
An offensive move.
Who cares what they say? They don't even know the rules to their own match. I'm making the rules now. My rules now.
Yeah.
Hardys lose.
That's right.
It's ridiculous.
That's right.
It was such a mess. I was watching the match and I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. Wrestling should never be, when you're watching it, confusing to understand what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean?
It shouldn't be.
It's wrestling. When you're watching a match, especially for as long as I've been watching wrestling, I should be able to half pay attention and know exactly what's going on. I was watching this match like, did Jeff get eliminated? He's gone. Oh, wait, there he is. Now the Blade went through a table, and now the match is over. Did Butcher go through a table? I don't think he did. Right? Butcher didn't go through a table, just Blade. So both Hardys go through a table, fine.
Oh, Butcher
Blade
went through a
goes
table?
through. Did he? Butcher?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Who's paying attention to this nonsense?
It was a lot of chaos. I won't
It was
deny
pure
that.
chaos. I couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. And then after the match, it's like, here comes Andrade and Private Party and the Bunny and Jose. It's like they don't have enough people. Let's throw a random manager who doesn't even speak in there. Let's throw a guy in a suit who doesn't even talk as part of the crew, because you really need another body there. With all the just nameless, faceless jabronis in this Andrade-led group. Bad enough Andrade is leading the group. He's got Private Party jabronis, the Bunny jabroni, Butcher and Blade jabronis, and then you add jabroni manager Jose. And then, of course, Sting shows up. They're all jabronis. I like Andrade, but, man, right now in AEW, he's nothing. And Sting shows up with a bat. 65-year-old Sting with a baseball bat. He takes over all the jabronis.
63.
Who cares how old he is, John? He's very old.
It doesn't matter how old he is.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, if you're 63 or 65, like, come on, bro. It's basically the same thing. So,
done, man.
Sting just takes out everybody, and that was a segment. I don't know. I was hoping for a better match here. This was a mess. The post-match thing was a mess. Where's Darby? Is Darby hurt? Is he selling something?
From last week, I'm guessing.
What happened to him last week? I mean, I feel like this guy crashes through everything every week, so I can't really remember one week to the next. You know what I mean?
He had that match with Andrade last week, right? That was the main event last week.
Okay. I don't know, John. It's been a long week. I don't know.
Yeah, well,
We've
he
watched
lost
a
to
lot of
Andrade last
wrestling,
week.
Johnny.
Yeah, that's it. I feel like I've seen about 1 million matches since last week's Dynamite. Last week's Dynamite feels a year away. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like a year ago.
Kidding.
Man,
Kidding.
so much is... Like, last week on Dynamite, you know, Cody Rhodes was still maybe part of the thing.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
completely.
Yeah.
Cody was long gone, but I can understand how things have changed in a week's time. Yes, the landscape has definitely changed. Yet we still have Ty and Sammy doing their little thing off TV now, though, which is very interesting, I think.
Ugh. Thank God it was just on one of the cardboard things, Ty and Sammy in a commercial break. That's all they're good for, a commercial break, doing a promo on those boards against American Top Team. I started watching it, and then I stopped because it sucked.
I didn't even know it was on.
I mean, you didn't need to.
I
You
didn't
know?
even bother. I didn't need to. Yeah.
Yeah, it was garbage. It was garbage. Oh, there's my dad on the chat saying 63 is the same as 65. Is my dad 63 now? I don't think so. Is he? Honestly, I've lost track of how old my dad is. I don't know how old my dad is. But he's saying 63 is the same as 65. Like, maybe I've offended him and he's 63. I don't think he's 63. I honestly can't. I can't figure out how old my dad is. That's how long of a day that I've had. I can't figure it out. But if you're offended by that,
Dave.
just know that, 36 or 37 or however old I am is basically 40, so I'm lumping us all in the same old man category. So don't feel bad. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
You're basically
Got a long
65, and I'm basically 40, so let's just give it up already, all right? We're all old, okay? We're all old guys here. Angelo's an old guy. Johnny's an old guy. We're all old guys here, and we're loving it.
I'm turning 42 next month.
Are you really? Good for you, man.
Yeah.
42. Still younger than AJ. Still way younger than AJ, so you're good.
Yeah, I'm good. I did like the last match.
Yeah, the main event, right?
Oh, man, was that something else.
Mm-hmm. FTR is on another level.
Yeah.
They figured it out. They figured out where they need to be in AEW. They figured out where they need to be in pro wrestling, and they are really turning it on. This is their time. This is their time to take the throne as the top tag team in the world. It's pretty good. Good for them, When they first came in from WWE, it was kind of like, yeah, all right. But they've really found their groove in the past few months. The babyface turn has worked, too. Everything's working for them right now. I don't like their physiques. The only thing that's not working for me is their physiques. Have they lost muscle and gained fat? They're in good shape, no disrespect, but they look a little... You know what I mean, John? They don't look like... I feel like... I don't think it's just I feel like they were in better shape at a certain point. They just don't look like they're in tip-top shape. They're great wrestlers, they're doing the thing and whatever, but I feel like they're... Maybe because they got the no tan and the body hair, maybe that makes them look like they're in worse shape. I don't know. They got body hair now, though. Have you noticed that? They stopped shaving their chests and stuff, both of them.
They got a lot of injuries, though, too. You see them all taped up after matches all the time. That probably stunts their training a little bit, too.
Yeah.
Even the Acclaimed had that kind of tape you were saying.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
Yeah. It's just, the Bucks look to be kind of more fit.
No, they don't wrestle as much, though. They're luckier.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess so. That match was great, though. It was really, really good.
I like when FTR copied the finishing move, the BTE, and then the kiss on the cheeks.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun
great
stuff.
Oh, man.
You see Kevin Owens after Raw super kick Cody Rhodes? They had a match, Kevin Owens and Cody. Kevin Owens super kicks Cody, and then he does a Young Bucks pose there. It's pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, that was out there. All right, Angelo, good talking to you, man, and maybe we'll talk again next Wednesday, although I don't know. Maybe I'll have another baby.
Who knows, man? If we don't see each other, best of luck with everything.
Thank you, man. Thank you, Angelo. Always good. Always good hearing from our man, Angelo Contagonis. Legend.
Definitely.
Hall of Famer of the Ringside Report, right? He's in the Hall of Fame. We should start a Hall of Fame. You got to put Angelo in the Hall of Fame, right? In the Ringside Report Network Hall of Fame. Who we putting in the Hall of Fame, John? 3 members in the Hall of Fame. If we were going to put 3 members in the Hall of Fame, today, I think we'd have to put Angelo in the Hall of Fame. I think we'd have to put Wally in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Maybe our man Andy Burroughs, too. You know what I mean?
That's what I was thinking.
An old school gentleman who's been with us since day one,
Right.
A lot of, Doug Hepburn is on that list. A lot of people. Harold Schneider.
Rob as well.
Rob Cluse. Yeah. A lot of people could be in the Hall of Fame. Maybe we'll do that. A Ringside Report Hall of Fame, induct people. That'd be good. That'd be pretty good. I would like that. I think that'd be fun. I think I just came up with a big idea. Bob Burgers likes it. Big Bob Burgers. Not just any Bob Burgers. Jade Cargill. Interviewed on the stage. Oh, yeah. Cut the shit, Tony. Cut the shit. What is that? It's a catchphrase? That's cool.
Well, I find she always says it when she just wants Tony to stop talking.
Yeah.
She just says that.
Jade introduced the baddies section where there was like some beautiful ladies, you know? And did you notice at the end of the shot of the baddies section, there's like this kind of guy who didn't look like he belonged in the baddies section sitting right next to them like, hey! What's he doing there? Is he a baddie?
In a lot of crowd shots, they always would get involved. Like when Wardlow was coming out too, like there was like a guy with 2 beers or something going like, yeah, like what the heck was that?
Oh, baddie section. Jade talks about Marina Shafir as her 30th opponent, says she's not a baddie, she's a badass, but no baddie. And Jade says, I'm tired of all these MMA losers coming into my business. And I'm tired of all these wrestling rejects coming into my company. That bitch show. Holy shit. When Jade wants to go and say some shit, she goes. Remember when Ty Conti was coming in, trying to challenge Jade, and Jade's like, nobody cares about that karate shit. Nobody gives a damn about that karate shit.
I believe it's judo, no, with her? Like,
yeah, it was judo and jiu-jitsu, but Jade's like, Jade doesn't care about that. Jade doesn't care about judo or jiu-jitsu. To her, it's all karate. Which I find hilarious. I think it's great. She's tired of all these MMA losers coming into her business. People that couldn't cut it in MMA coming into pro wrestling. And all these wrestling rejects coming into her company. People that couldn't cut it in other wrestling companies coming into the Jade Zone. I mean, Jade went hard in that promo, John. Did you not like that? That was a hell of a line. MMA losers and wrestling rejects infringing on Jade's territory. What a champion.
You know, it's fine, but like she's gonna be wrestling what Shafir like next week. Like, is that match even confirmed yet or not? Like, we haven't even heard from her yet, so it just feels like this is very one-sided so far, and we don't even know. Like, I guess she's wrestled on Dark a couple of times. I didn't see any of these matches, but like, is she really anything like it's gonna be competitive? Really? Like, did you ever see her wrestle in WWE when she was there?
Yeah.
And?
Well, there's a reason why she's not there anymore.
Okay.
You never saw her and Jessamine Duke as a tag team?
Like, I saw them, they would always do run-ins or something, you know? They would always do, or extras, whatever, with Shayna, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she's better now. I haven't seen her wrestle in maybe a year or two at least, right?
Okay.
I haven't seen her wrestle in AEW, so maybe she's better now. But I remember in NXT, she was pretty bad. But she's married to Roderick Strong, who's a hell of a wrestler, so maybe, you know, she's doing the work, paying attention, and she's better now. I don't know. I don't have high hopes for a match with Jade, and I think she's just going to get squashed by Jade, as she should, as everybody should. Everybody. I don't care if you're Thunder Rosa, Hikaru Shida, Julia Hart. It doesn't matter. You're getting squashed by Jade. That bitch show.
It's hard to get excited for this or really care too much for this when it doesn't feel like this is much of a challenge.
Yeah. Whatever. I just get excited to see Jade. Hear Jade cut promos. Tremendous. Hikaru Shida beats Julia Hart to qualify for the Owen Hart tournament. Gets the pinfall after a Falcon Arrow. Hart attacked Shida from behind and was wrestling like a heel. The Varsity Blondes, Pillman and Griff, didn't like it. And Julia said, yeah, leave. You don't like it? Leave. Get out of here. So Julia Hart is a heel. The Aleister Black missed to the eye. She's still wearing the eye patch, and she's still kind of turned evil because of it. Despite the fact she's the only person in AEW with the last name Hart, she did not qualify for the Owen Hart tournament. She's not part of the Hart family. She's not Canadian, but, you know, her last name is Hart. You would think maybe there'd be a spot for her in the Owen Hart tournament, but no, Hikaru Shida beat her. It was all right. Not a bad match. Shida did a beautiful suplex. Hart was on the apron. Shida was on the second rope. Shida suplex Hart inside the ring from the apron. Very impressive stuff from Hikaru Shida. Serena Deeb showed up behind Shida with a chair after the match, but Shida ready with her kendo stick. Serena and Shida kind of stared down, and then Serena decided to back up and left the ring. So that Shida-Serena thing is still going on, in case you were wondering. And I know you weren't, because nobody was. But I like this version of Julia Hart. There's something to her now. She's not just, a cheerleader who smiles. She's mean. She's a cheerleader with an eye patch. Something.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. It's something. She adds more interest, more intrigue. So that's probably going to get her on TV more often. But she still definitely needs to work on her strikes. Like, she needs to put more effort into them, or just be more vicious in there. Because it felt like she was holding back way too obviously at times. You could tell she's trying to hold back on her strikes when she's doing her little flip clothesline in the corner. It just felt very light the way she was hitting. You got to put more velocity behind it. Be a bit more ruthless with it. She's just, especially if you're a heel, you can't be very light on your stuff. And I felt she was a bit too much like that. I felt like it was completely one-sided after the break for the face, which is no, it shouldn't be like that. The face should be coming back. The face had already came back. She had already came back, and Julia had barely any offense whatsoever. I don't know if she needs to add more moves, or maybe she got lost or something. I found she got tired, because I don't know if you noticed, it seemed like she was huffing a lot near the end of the match. And it didn't seem like it was a very long match, but it seemed like she was tired, and she was dead weight on a lot of those suplexes. It seemed like Shida was trying to lift a 300-pound woman right there, and Julia is not 300 pounds, and yet those suplexes look like the hardest things in the world for her to do.
Well, maybe she was tired. I mean, she hasn't wrestled that much.
Actually, she has wrestled decently. I've seen her on Dark. She's actually wrestled quite a few times, actually.
But long matches like this, singles matches, against somebody like Shida, who's, she's got a demanding style. Shida goes,
That's it. And it was definitely a new match for her, and match where it's a little bit difficult in terms of the pacing. So that's, a great learning experience, but, I could see why they don't push her more than they have. They see there's a lot of potential there, but there's definitely a lot more work. However, again, she's only 20 years old. There's definitely time.
The more you see Shida, the more you realize, why they push her so much. I just wish she'd have more of a personality. She's such a great wrestler. She's easily top 2 or 3 wrestlers in the company. As far as the women go, she's right up there, but there's just nothing to her. And Serena Deeb's trying to do something now, but there's no heat there because no one really cares about either one. For a heel to really be successful, for Serena Deeb to really get that hate from the audience, people have to love Hikaru Shida. And I don't think anybody really cares about her.
I think there's a lot of respect for her.
Yeah, but not love. Respect, but not
love. You're right.
You respect her, I respect her, but when we see her, we're like, yeah, all right. Cool. We don't love her.
Right. No, 100%, because we don't know too much about her. We don't know much about her character. We just know, oh, she's a good worker. That's pretty much it. And it helps to have these storylines with Serena, so it gives us something to care about for her. But it's not much. But again, they're limited what they can do. English isn't exactly an easy thing for her to do, so
right,
it's tough.
But at this
they're
point,
doing what they can.
Goddamn, how long has she been in AEW?
I guess she's there from the start. No, so 3 years.
Fucking, you can't put a couple sentences together.
She does a couple of pre-tapes. We've seen that.
More.
That's about it.
There needs to be more. Well, she's really good. You know what I mean? There should be more of a character there so that we could care about her. Because if she's just good and, you don't know anything about her, it's hard to care. Like, they could make money with her, but they don't do enough to explain to us who and why she is. Oh, well.
No, yeah. 100% right. 100% right. They should do more, and they should make an effort to do more.
Yeah.
They haven't, though. And the thing is, too, they're limited on how much time they have. Like, we saw the people who have advanced so far for the Owen Hart tournament, and then they only had like a minute to talk, pretty much.
Yeah.
I believe that was Hayter and Tony Storm, right?
Yeah, they had a short promo. Whatever.
Like, you could Jericho too. Like, they were really packed. They just packed as much as they could into this one episode because there was so much to do.
Yes. Jericho, I mean, you saw him, right? But
Right.
yeah. Silent by Deadly says that was a good idea, Dave. Have a show all about wrestling terms. Well, if you ever want to ask us a question about a specific term, Silent, you can do so, and we'll try and answer that question for you. Swerve Strickland is backstage, and he talks about how he went to the Grammys with some of his friends who are producers that won for working on Donda, the Kanye West album, which won, I believe, 2 Grammys. John, what's your favorite song off Donda?
Oh, I haven't listened to that.
Not
I thought Kanye was in trouble, wasn't he?
Jail? Or
Yeah.
No, that's the name of the song. It won a Grammy. Guess who's going to jail tonight? No? You don't know that one?
I thought he was, because
Off
didn't
the
he like threaten somebody recently?
Agree. Huh? I mean, just Skeet. Who cares? Fuck that guy.
Okay, yeah. It's okay. It's fine.
That guy sucks. I'd threaten him too. I don't know. I'm Team Kanye all day. I don't really care about what Kanye does to other people. I care deeply of what people do to Kanye. But whenever Kanye does things to other people, I just say, yeah, well, Kanye being Kanye, bitch. You don't like it? I don't care. I goddamn love Kanye. So the fact that Swerve knows people that know Kanye makes me think, wow, Swerve is pretty cool. Kanye's the best. Donda's great.
Well,
Donda 2.
Cool in this promo.
Donda 2 also great. My God. Let's just talk about Kanye for a while, John. You want to talk about Kanye? Kanye pulled out of Coachella. And then The Weeknd replaced him. And then Coachella's like, yeah, all right, we're going to pay you whatever. And Weeknd's like, well, you're going to pay Kanye $8.5 million. I want $8.5 million. And they're like, So we'll see if Weeknd will replace Kanye. But Kanye is not performing at Coachella. There's word that Kanye is getting some mental health help right now. And if he is, I wish him the best. And if he's not, I wish him the best. No matter what, I wish him the best. Because he is the best. Best designer, best fashion, best music, best everything. Genius. I don't give a fuck about what other people say about him. I don't care. I'll defend that man forever. That's my guy. Anyway, Swerve. Doug says he bought the album with Gold Digger. Good stuff. Yeah, it was a while ago. Keep it going, Doug. Get. You know. I mean, I'm sure you guys got streaming services. No, you know, Spotify or Apple Music or YouTube Music or whatever. Listen to Donda. Listen to Yeezus. Listen to Donda 2. Listen to Yay. Listen to Jesus is King. All good music from Kanye West. Everything he's done is classic. Oh, my God. I could honestly do a podcast about Kanye and just go on and on about Kanye West and how great he is, but John would get bored, so we're not going to do that. So Swerve is backstage.
You should get AJ for that.
AJ doesn't know anything. AJ knows less about Kanye than you do, which says a lot. I'm wearing Yeezy slides right now.
I'm not surprised by
I
that.
have boxes and boxes, bro. You have no idea.
I've seen the boxes. I know how many boxes. Well, I have a good idea of how many boxes there are. And I think we're all about to find out how many boxes there are.
I mean, this is just a small sample. These are for sale. Like, I'm getting rid of these because I have too much Yeezy right now. These are a pair of Yeezy slides. I think these are the Ochres. These are 2 pairs of slides, dead stock, untouched, pures and ochres. I got a pair of shoes down there too. My Yeezy collection is off the charts. Look at these right here. Wham. Right on my feet. Boom. Yeezy slides. All right? Always. Yeezy all day, every day. If you ever see me walking around, I'm wearing Yeezy all the time. I've got dozens and dozens of Yeezy shit. What the hell are we talking about? Swerve is backstage. See, this is what happens. Swerve says Kanye West on Dynamite, and I get really excited. He said Kanye. Oh, my God. I love Kanye so much. Anyways. So Swerve leaves, and then he gets attacked by Will Hobbs and Ricky Starks, and then Keith Lee shows up and saves him, and they're all brawling backstage, and then Keith Lee pounces Will Hobbs through a wall. That was pretty cool. I liked it.
I want to say the Varsity Blondes were on the other side. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what it sounded like.
Yeah. They were.
So
it's cool, though.
That's a nice little thing to do. It just ended like that. There's no match or anything announced. It's just that's what happened. That's it. That little brawl.
How come Swerve is doing a promo and then all of a sudden when his promo's done, Will Hobbs and Ricky Starks just appear out of nowhere? Swerve didn't see them coming? It's kind of weird. Like they were right there.
Well, I guess they turned around the corner or something.
Yeah. Are we doing a tag team match between those guys or what?
I didn't see anything announced.
Me neither.
I don't know what's going on.
Here's what we have announced. Next week on Dynamite, it'll be Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal in some sort of gift-giving segment.
Okay.
Right? Didn't Jay Lethal say he was going to give a gift to Joe? That's happening next week on Dynamite. Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz will take on Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, and Daniel Garcia. MJF will take on the Captain, Sean Dean. Jurassic Express will defend the AEW Tag Team titles against Red Dragon. This all happening on Dynamite next week in New Orleans, Louisiana. Coming up on Rampage this Friday, we have Jon Moxley versus Wheeler Utah, Bryan Danielson versus Trent Beretta, Red Velvet versus Willow Nightingale in an Owen Hart Cup qualifying match. Who?
From Ring of Honor, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh. Okay. And Swerve Strickland versus QT Marshall, set for Rampage coming up Friday. And then they also announced Thunder Rosa versus Nyla Rose for the women's title on April 16th at Saturday Night Fight. And Hangman Page versus Adam Cole for the AEW title in a Texas death match next week on Rampage in Texas. So not this Friday, but the following Friday for the AEW World title. Angelo Contagonis dropping a super chat. He says, I know I've asked this already, but when will we see you in the ring, Johnny? And with that, Angelo takes over as the new super chat leader of the night. I believe he's tied with Doug Hepburn. Angelo and Doug are actually tied right now for the lead. Thank you, Angelo. Thank you, Doug. Johnny, you have an answer or still waiting?
Well, there's a good chance April 16th for NCW here in Quebec.
That's soon.
It's a good possibility. There's a battle royal, so it's not confirmed, but there's a possibility it could happen. April 16th.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
I would keep checking up with promotions. NCW, I think, on Facebook. I think they don't have a website; they just only have a Facebook page. But keep checking that.
Can't we just follow you on Twitter and Instagram, and you'll tell us there?
Yeah, I'll tell you there too if I hear anything, but they would probably have better updates because they know what's going on more than I do.
All right. So hopefully April 16th, which is pretty soon. So that'd be nice to see Johnny back in the ring.
This Saturday, next Saturday.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Well, that's cool. You hear Sonny killed a guy, probably?
Who?
Sonny.
Sonny Kiss?
No, Sonny Tammy Sitch.
Oh, there was some sort of car accident, right?
Yeah, but somebody died, and she's being investigated because police suspect she was under the influence of alcohol at the time of the crash.
Ooh.
The TMZ.
And this is not her first.
No, not the
offense,
first
too.
time.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
TMZ reporting Tammy Sitch was in a car crash last month where a 75-year-old man died. Police suspect she was under the influence of booze. TMZ just saying booze. They don't say alcohol.
Quality journalism.
Yeah, real classy. Under the influence of booze. All right. I'd say alcohol if I'm writing a story, but hey, journalistic integrity is over. Yeah. This happened somewhere. Florida, I think. She crashed and she was driving at a high rate of speed before hitting the car. The man was driven to a hospital and died of his injuries. Wow.
Well, that's sad. I saw WWE released one of the NXT tag champs. So there's a lot of trouble brewing in wrestling, sadly.
Yes, because his ex-wife accused him of abuse. Like beating her up, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Stone Cold main evented WrestleMania. Just to be clear. And yeah, his ex-wife accused him of beating her up too. Just so we're clear on all that. Right?
Like, I've said that for years about that. The thing is, though, Deborah has, like, apologized and, like, accepted Steve's apology as well, so.
Yeah.
You know.
So? Doesn't mean he didn't do it.
They've kind of moved on, in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, just because you accept the apology doesn't mean you didn't do the thing that's bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but, you know, forgiveness and all that.
Like I was saying on Monday's show, like the fans, Cody Rhodes mentioned former WWF champions, right? And he mentioned Hulk Hogan, and the crowd just boos Hogan. And I'm like, whoa, why are we booing Hogan? Because he held people down? Because he said some racist things? Stone Cold beat the shit out of a woman. Treating him like a hero. You're going to boo Hulk Hogan? It's just people got to pick and choose here, man. Stay consistent.
Well, I think what hurt Hogan was, like, yes, Hogan apologized for that, but a lot of people didn't accept his apology.
Yeah.
And because certain people didn't accept his apology, people still hold a grudge. As someone who still thinks the Survivor Series screwjob was a bad thing, I can understand grudges.
Yeah, okay, but when you say something racist, right, you have to get everybody that you've offended to accept your apology, which is pretty hard because it's like millions of people, right? But when you beat up a woman, all you have to do is get the woman's acceptance and you're good to go. That doesn't seem fair, John. I think you should get the, you know what I mean? Like, I think every woman should be like, I accept your apology, Stone Cold. But he's not even apologizing. I was drunk, son. What? I don't know. Anyways, Tammy Sitch is in trouble. She's been accused of drinking and driving. She's been arrested 6 times for DWI. So
she only recently came out of prison.
Yeah, this could be it for her. This could be it. Not good. So that's the latest. I just don't like people booing Hulk Hogan. I'm fine with Stone Cold. Like, everybody makes mistakes, and some mistakes are really horrible, and I don't really love the man that he is, but I love, you know, the character of Stone Cold, so whatever. Willing to accept it, I suppose. But I'm not willing to accept people booing Hulk Hogan for what he did, but just accepting Stone Cold and it's all fine. It's like, well, no, that's not how things work. And to me, I mean, racism is bad. Saying racist things is bad, but beating up women is maybe worse. I mean, one is saying things, the other thing is doing things, you know? I think racism is not cool, but I think beating up women is really not cool. All right? That's how I
think
feel.
it's fair to say it's all bad. Don't do it.
Yeah, it's fair to say don't be a racist and don't hit women. All right? It's not cool. Johnny North says be cool. Okay? And he may be wearing a shirt that says I hate something, but it's not. It's I hate racists and people that beat women, right? That's the bottom of the shirt. What is the bottom of the shirt?
Sure. It
I
actually
hate.
says I hate this town.
Oh.
BC.
What town?
Oh, that's the great part about it. It could be for anything, right?
Oh.
This is
okay.
actually a Just Incredible t-shirt, so that's what he used to get heat.
Okay. This is the worst town I've ever been in. I've heard that one before. All right, guys, that's it. That's Dynamite. I'm done. I'm done, and I'll probably be back tomorrow night. Although you never know at this point. So there you go. Okay.
Day by day.
If my daughter decides to come out of her mother, then there'll be no show tomorrow. I look forward to it. Not the show tomorrow. My daughter coming out. I mean, the show tomorrow will be fine too, but I would prefer have a kid. Although, we could do both. Let's do both. Do the show tomorrow.
So as of right now, there is a show tomorrow.
As of right now, there's a show tomorrow. As of right now, everything is business as usual until it's not. You know? It's like, we're doing shows until the baby comes. Then when the baby comes, you won't see me for like a week or so. Maybe more than a week. It really depends on her mother and what I'm allowed to do. You know what I mean?
I understand completely.
I'm not in charge. Let me explain something to you, John. I used to be pretty important in my household. People cared about me. But once you become a dad, you become the least important member of your household, right? So it's my son, then his mother, and then me. Now, it's going to be baby, son, mother, me. I went from third most important to now fourth most important. It goes me and then the cat. And we're pretty close.
You're ahead of the cat.
I'm barely ahead of the cat. Barely ahead of the cat, honestly. People are giving way more love to the cat these days than I'm getting love. Cat's treated better than me, man. I'm telling you.
Don't worry, you're very important. Don't worry.
I mean, yeah, without me, none of this shit goes. All right. Angelo dropping the super chat, 99 cents, puts him on top. He's the new super chat leader. And Doug says, Angelo is a Hall of Famer heel. I love it. Good stuff, guys. Thank you guys for joining us here. Appreciate you. Angelo, you are the super chat leader. Thank you, Angelo. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Harold. Thank you, Silent. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight, live or on a replay, however you're joining us. We love it. All right? Join.ringsidereport.net. Join.ringsidereport.net. Sign up. It's $5 a month. And then when you sign up, you could call. Just like Angelo did. Angelo called up and he talked to us because he's a member of the team. And when you're a member, you could be part of the show. Join.ringsidereport.net. Come on, man. I got another mouth to feed. You know? Let's go. All right. That's it. That's all. Thank you. I'll be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. with Freddie and AJ to preview UFC 273.
Please join in and give your support to Ringside Report Network. We've been providing expert coverage and commentary on both pro wrestling and MMA for over 15 years. Go to ringsidereport.net/support to find out more ways to support the channel.